Welcome back. Well, we're sitting down with Charlie James from 1250 WTMA for some of the week's biggest stories. Charlie, we love having you on, but let's start because there's a lot to get through.
A lot to get through. First,
yeah.
Big story that we had, the Michael Slager mistrial. And one of the worst things that could happen, what really got my listeners on WTMA fired up this week, was the photograph that was shown by the Today Show where they reported
Baltimore.
that it was from a protest here in Charleston. Actually turned out to be the Freddie Gray protest back in 2015 in Baltimore. That is really, at this point in time, inexcusable. You see the photo right there. It has been cropped, and with this community on a powder keg right now, with the Freddie Gray, with the Michael Slager mistrial, with the Dylan Roof trial that we're going through right now, the apology that they offered, a lot of my listeners on WTMA said, not enough. It's too little too late. And I'll tell you what, it really, they have to have a little more accountability when it comes to something like that. Speaking of the Dylan Roof trial, testimony has been absolutely heartbreaking in this trial. And more people are really, you know, I knew we were going to have to relive this this incident again, but I didn't know that we were going to be reliving it in the detail. It's almost like we're getting more information now than we did when it actually happened. I couldn't imagine being in that jury. Dylan Roof's mother having a heart attack, having to be taken to the hospital. Unbelievable story. What this young man did, and to see that video of him walking out of Mother Emanuel AME, casually getting into his car and driving off, that made me physically ill to watch, knowing that this guy was so callous.
A lot of people also were saying, you know, it's very difficult to watch even the parishioners come into Bible study.
Yes.
They look so happy, and you know, this was something that was so normal for them. So this has really opened up a wound that really wasn't even...
It wasn't healed yet. You're right, and we're having to go through that all over again. Let's get a little bit lighter here. In Mount Pleasant, they are protesting a new grocery store that could be coming to the area. The Lowe's Foods. Now, this is not Lowe's Home Improvement. This is Lowe's Foods. It's a grocery store, and they're protesting in Mount Pleasant. And I'm wondering what that protest looks like. A lot of women in yoga pants and Uggs with oversized sweatshirts raising their pumpkin spice lattes in solidarity to keep this grocery store out. Listen, Mount Pleasant, if the worst problem that you have is growth, then you are sitting in the catbird seat. Ask the folks in Allendale if they would like to have another grocery store. Ask the folks down on the peninsula if they would like to have another grocery store. Mount Pleasant needs to count their blessings.
Well, and also, you know, the grocery store dilemma happening in downtown Charleston after the one on Median Street. Yes. After that closed, you know, people are even commenting on our Facebook page, why isn't that Lowe's going there?
Yeah, well, it's just they got to go where the money is. They're going where the money is, and right now Mount Pleasant is the basically the cash cow of the Low Country.
Right. So coming up next week, I'm guessing WTMA is still going to have those big talking points of the Dylan Roof trial.
Absolutely. More of this continues. Of course, the jury watching the entire, basically the confession of Dylan Roof today.
And that should really start here, if not, has already started.
Absolutely, and it seems like the defense has really thrown up their hands in this whole case as far as offering a defense for Dylan Roof. They're just basically trying to keep him from being executed right now. So,
Charlie, I really appreciate, it is definitely a nightmare, but we appreciate you coming on and telling us what your listeners are talking about. So I appreciate that. Thank you.
Thank you.